at athletesforlife.org.
Athletesforlife.org. Make sure your kids get to this free camp this summer.
Man, we put on an epic light show.
So epic.
The crowd loved us.
Wait, there were only 4 people out there.
Yeah, but did you see their 4 faces? Their eyes lit up brighter than ours, and we're Firefly. And we're gonna be out here rocking out at a forest near you, so out.
Check us out.
Whether you're rocking their world or they're rocking yours, some memories never fade. Come alive with the forest. Visit forest.org to find a forest near you. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
It may be hard, just like you are already saving. Pig.org makes it easy. Simple Savings Plan teaches you how to start saving without going overboard. So you don't need to start foraging wild berries.
I was skeptical, but these are actually pretty good.
You don't need to sell your soul to the devil.
$15 is the best I can do.
You just need feedthepig.org. Don't get left behind. Tips and tools at feedthepig.org. Brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
It's not your grandmother's talk radio, but she is welcome to listen. ThePowerOfVoices.com.
Welcome to the Lee Michael. It is Monday. How are you? How was your weekend? I hope everything was good. Had a little fun, rest, and all of that good stuff. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And Carol, how are you today?
I'm okay.
Just okay?
Yeah, I think it's been a real sad weekend.
Yeah, it was a horrific weekend with the people who were killed down in Florida. I am saddened by it all. And you know what? We here we are again looking at 50 people dead and 52 or more injured. And the discussion is back on the table about gun control.
Well, I don't think it should have ever been off the table.
Well, I agree. And if there are people out there that feel that, oh, well, guns don't kill people, people kill people, that is true. However, the people that have access to the guns should not have access to them. There lies one of the major problems. And I don't think we're doing enough.
Well, I think it bothers me. Bothers me because if they had been watching him before because of a remark he made when he was working somewhere, and then they watched him again, and then again, and they said the last time he told them, well, I was hoping you would have came to my house and killed my wife and child because then I could have killed myself.
Yeah.
But the thing is I have to halfway agree with what Obama says, too. Why do you sell assault rifles? You're not going to put 50 bullets in an animal that you're going to eat.
Exactly.
So why was he able to buy these? And wherever he bought it, shouldn't they have some law that they have to report? Because he bought them, the day before?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
think it was the day before.
Wow.
So you go in and you buy all those. Why? So, but I understand, too, where they're saying we need guns, possibly, a smaller gun or something that's not in your house to protect you.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what's going to come through. But when you start selling assault rifles, and it's frightening. And the only thing what's scary, too, is if he hadn't did that night, you had a man in California that was going to possibly shoot up the gay pride here because, and the only reason they caught him is he was parked outside in Santa Monica, I think off of Olympic and maybe 11th or something.
Yeah, in Santa Monica.
And he was knocking on doors. Now, why was he knocking on doors? So people called the police, and when they came, they searched his car. He had stuff in there to make bombs.
Yeah.
Numerous, was it assault rifles, if I'm correct?
Yep.
And told him he was going to gay pride.
Yep.
He didn't say he was going there to kill, but come on.
Yeah. Well, of course he was.
So why?
And he's 20 years old from Indiana.
But listening to the people, Tammy, I guess is her name before you.
Yeah.
I was listening to her, wake up. Because to me, Trump is waking up a lot of this too with his stupid, nasty remarks. If you've never been in the Middle East, then don't talk about something you don't know. I've been in the Middle East, and believe me, they're just as afraid as anybody else is.
Yeah.
Not everybody there is bad, and I don't know why people say that. And it bothers me because Muslim is a religion.
Mm-hmm.
So don't sit here condemning all Muslims. You better worry about
Well,
this
that's
man that
easy.
people follow and think he's going to be our president because he'll destroy this country.
Well, it's easy for people who have hate against others that are prejudiced and all that. Now, let me just say this. There are some bad Muslims. There are some bad white people. There's some bad black people, some bad Asian people. They're bad people in every race and part of the country. It looks like we got somebody calling here. Let's invite them in. Good morning. Welcome to the Lee Michaels Show. And I think it was probably one of those bad phone calls that whoever had the numbers that we have before us, we get a lot of those. Looking for whoever used to own the number. I got one the other day, allegedly from the Internal Revenue, but you know that's a scam. Because the Internal Revenue doesn't call you.
Oh, you got one of those too? I did too.
Yeah, they call the our 424-227-9461 number.
See, when I called back on it, she goes, Internal Revenue. I said, well, you called me, and she hung the phone up.
Right. and then what's funny is they left a message. I didn't answer the call, but they left a message and they didn't leave a name. So come on. If you get one of those calls, it is a scam. They're trying to sell you something or get access to your bank account or something. And so just hang up on them. Break the phone off in their ears. But anyway, I think that we have a problem that are probably not being enforced to the fullest. That in itself is a problem. To fix that, that needs to be fixed. Because if we don't, and we have laws and they're not being enforced that could prevent some of these heinous, senseless crimes, then shame on us. And I think if the FBI had their eye on this, listen, law is the law. Maybe they didn't have enough to arrest him or whatever. So we have to trust that maybe the FBI made the right decision, but maybe they should have kept a closer eye on him moving forward. And with all the crazy statements that he's made, to his ex-wife, he was married and had a child in a current marriage. But his ex-wife, she left him. Her family to help her get away from him.
He wouldn't let her see her family.
Right. And so, there lies a nutball whack job right there. So we can't minimize and just, maybe, he's not that crazy. Bullshit. He's crazy. But listen, let me just say this. Every time one of these things happen, the outcome is, he was mentally unstable.
Well, I think anybody's mental when you go out and kill a bunch of people.
Of course. But we're not doing a good enough job in the mental health alley to prevent these things from happening. So that's a problem.
Well, the sad thing is his new wife said that he had been scouting Disney World too. So when his father says, oh, well, I think he just did it because he's seen two guys kissing. No, that to me, that's bullshit.
Yeah. That's
Excuse me for cussing, but
no,
that's full of it because why would he scout Disney? And she told them that.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Shame on her for not saying something to the authorities.
Yeah, that kind of threw me a little when she said he was scouting it. Why would she say scouting? She said they had went out there, and then he went back out there.
Yeah.
So, was he going to try to blow up a bunch of kids?
If she went out there with him scouting for the purpose of doing something crazy, then she's an accessory to the crime. She's an accessory.
Yeah, read that where she says that.
Yeah, she should have said something. Sitting on your ass and maybe she was fearful and if she knows this guy's nuts, then okay.
And maybe he beat her too, because the first wife said he beat her continuously.
Yeah.
She said he never allowed her to be so maybe he was doing that to this wife too.
Exactly.
Just makes me sick.
Yeah, it is sickening.
And then to hear Trump come on with his stupid remark, he was right all along. What a sicko.
Yeah. Totally insensitive. And if this is the man that you want to vote for and have as our
Then maybe
commander-in-chief.
Maybe he should pack up and take all his followers and move to an island, because I'm sure it wouldn't fill the island.
Yeah.
Too many people are really
Well,
against
you might be
him now.
surprised on that one, because there are a lot of sick-ass people in this world and in this country that follow misinformation. They're starstruck. They like Donald Trump because he is well-known. He's famous. His TV
Famous
personality.
for what?
For, his hype. His own hype, his TV show. People don't understand that just because a person is rich, just because a person is famous, they have a popular TV show, does not mean that they are a rocket scientist or qualified to be the president of the United States.
And a lot of people are rich like him because you don't want to pay the people that work for you. You want all the profits to yourself.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
It's clear that's what his MO is.
I was talking to somebody on the phone the other day with Time Warner, but he was in Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about how D.C. just made it a $15 minimum an hour rule.
Right.
He told me, though, that's nice. He said, because ours is $8 and something in Colorado.
Yeah.
He was telling me that.
And then listen, I mean, there are so many issues that we need to contend with in our world, our society, our neighborhoods. And to sit here and see 50 lives snuffed, and we may never really know why this guy did what he did. Really, to me, it's not that important. The fact is that there are 50 people dead and 52 injured. It's over 100 people that have been, their lives are completely different today.
And now these poor parents and brothers and sisters and partners have to sit back and realize this. I mean, I was listening to stories, and one girl talked about how she had to get underneath bodies on top of her to let him think she was dead. And then the story of the guy in the bathroom, that made me cry. When he texted her, and then he told her he loved his mom. And then he told her, I'm going to die. I don't know if the man was in the bathroom. I couldn't figure it out when he said, he's in here, he's horrible or something.
Yeah.
But that I don't know, did he die, though? I've never...
The shooter?
No, did the kid die that was in the bathroom texting his mother? I mean, because she read the texts, and the poor mother you seen crying just hysterically on TV, about her child. And I mean...
Yeah.
But for Trump to come on and make the nasty remark, instead of saying how he felt and how sad it is, and that he had to come in with the same old crap.
Yep. Gloating about being right.
He's right. Right for what?
Exactly. If you're so right, sir, then, you're a genius. Okay, you're a genius. You're a self-serving genius. But that doesn't bring those lives back. It doesn't heal the wounds of the 52 people that were injured. It's not going to change the impact. You want to be right about that? No, you want to be wrong about that. But more importantly, a good president, potential president, would have said, it is a sad day in America to see something like this happens. My condolences goes out to the families, and get well soon to the other wounded victims, or something light like that. You don't gloat. I told you so. I'm right. Come on.
And you know what? Republicans and Democrats need to get past this fighting right now. Right now, they need to get together.
They're not going to do
and
it.
Stop these assault rifles. They need to make some kind of law. I mean,
I agree.
You can't take
but
people's hunting rifles or a gun to protect yourself, but you got to come in somewhere to stop this. Because if you don't, it's going to get worse.
They're not going to do it because they're so divided politically, and nobody wants to admit. And because the NRA and all these nutball, whack job, gun crazy people, and I'm saying it, yes, I said it, and I'm not going to take it back. Because sometimes you can go to the extreme in your beliefs and become blinded by the realities that we're dealing with. But the problem is there's been so much misinformation given out, and then the NRA gets on their bandwagon and pumps all the lies out that somebody's trying to take away your Second Amendment rights. No, I have not seen one candidate that says, we want to take your guns. Okay? President Barack Obama has never said that.
No, yeah.
Hillary is not saying that. And even Bernie didn't say it. They're all saying that there should be some kind of reform, changes in the laws,
well, they
but
say
not taking your gun. It ain't going to happen.
They
First of
feel
all,
that it should be stopped assault rifles. If you
I agree
stop
with that.
people that are on the list from traveling, if you have somebody on that list that you've been watching,
right?
Why was he allowed to buy these guns? You watched him 3 different times. But he went in and he bought numerous bullets because he had some special license.
Yeah.
But if you've been watching him, why was he able to buy that?
Yeah, see, a guy like that who has been on the watch list should not be easy for him to walk into a gun store and get a license, number one, and then to buy assault weapons. Listen, okay, you're profiling, but that's what you have to do sometimes. You got to be certain. More certainty, a little tougher watching by the FBI, local police, or whatever. Should have been in place here, and it wasn't. It failed. The system failed. Now, here in L.A., the guy that came in from Indiana, 20-year-old, he was knocking on doors, trying to get into someone's house, I guess. Maybe he was going to barricade himself in and get a bird's eye view to the gay pride parade. We don't know.
Well, he
but
was
got
more
caught.
in Santa Monica.
Yeah.
Maybe he was going to kill some people over there.
Yeah, exactly. So this guy had assault weapons, and he had been in trouble in Indiana, and he was supposed to give up his weapons, and he was on probation, and he was not supposed to have access to weapons until after his probation. And maybe a guy like this should have never had access to guns again, ever. If he threatened people with the use of a gun, to me, why don't you just take those guns away and say, you can never have a gun again because you are not being responsible. You don't have any regard for life. You want to threaten someone with a gun. How does a person like that get a gun? I don't get it. But we're supposed to say, well, he's just crazy. So he gets a pass because he's nuts? And I'm sure somebody out there said, well, you shouldn't call somebody crazy or nuts. I am. I don't feel like being politically correct right now. Be upset with me if you want. That's fine. I'm calling it like it is. We don't do enough in the category of mental health. I'm not saying you're supposed to go around and lock up, people that have problems, but they need help. They need counseling. They may need medication. They need somebody to help them. What is the difference when somebody comes in with a broken leg? So you got a broken mind. It needs to be fixed. We don't do enough in that category. And I'll say it, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Family members, loved ones, friends, neighbors, associates, co-workers, you see these situations. You see people acting up. Back in the day, we used to call going postal. But before it gets to that point, you have an obligation to say something, to help that person. Even if you're in fear. In reality, I understand your fear. But what you need to do is to report this inappropriate activity.
Well, that's what it was great about Santa Monica, those people.
Yeah, they did the right thing. And they prevented another massacre from happening.
Well, you know what bothers me, too, when this happened? Your hateful people came forward. I couldn't believe the tweets.
Oh.
I mean, I'm just going to read a few.
Sure.
Here's what, and pay attention to his name, people. We should all share his name. Jonathan Howell.
Yep.
Florida Pulse Gay Club attacked. I'm so happy someone decided to start shooting perverts instead of innocent people. Now that's wrong. Then we have a woman, and she puts
Because,
a news.
but let me just say something to that. Because of your sexual orientation, you're an evil person.
Nobody.
You're a
Sexual
pervert.
orientation has nothing to do with laws.
No.
And when God put us here, has nothing to do with it. Maybe a Bible that they say man wrote, which they've changed like 4 times. Who are these men writing this? Because it's given me doubts now. And I'm a very religious person. With saying they're making all Christians look bad because all Christians don't feel like this. Let me read you another one. This is from
Right.
a woman. 50 gay people died in a nightclub. That's what you call an effective shooting good shit. Gays don't deserve to live. You know, I wish I could slap the shit out of her. Excuse my
Yeah.
thing. Let me give you another one. There's so many of them. And people are posting this these
Yeah.
ones are shutting their stuff down, but I think Facebook and Twitter should shut them down. The only good thing about the Orlando shooting is that it was a gay club, so less gays in the world today. What is wrong with our society? Everybody's a human being here. You should be more concerned. Would you have felt better if it was done and he got a hold of Disney World? Would you talk this crap then? I don't think so. I really don't. But you're going to condemn another human being and think it's okay that all these young men and women were killed because of their sexual preference?
Yeah.
Give me a break.
But, you know,
wake up.
Many Americans who write stuff like that in social media, first of all, they're cowards. Secondly, they don't care about human life. They said the same thing when the situation happened at Sandy Hook and the theater shooting. I mean, they always come out with the same
No, you know what they said when
comments.
that happened? The theater shooting guy shouldn't go to prison because he's mental.
Please.
No, he did the same thing anybody else. He's the domestic terrorist. Let me read you this one. I wake up to some dude shooting up a gay nightclub. Isn't that weird? Homosexuality is condemned by God, so that's why he let that happen, people. And I'll go back again. I would like to hear the man that wrote the Bible, because it wasn't God. And I'm getting tired of people thinking it's okay. It's not okay. It's not okay for anybody to kill anybody. Doesn't matter who you are or what your sexual preference is or what you do for a living. This has to stop. Because like they're saying, he was scouting Disney World too. And then people should think about this one too. The girl that got killed, the singer. Why would that man have 2 guns and a knife? A hunting knife, mind you. And anybody that hunts will tell you a hunting knife can cut the neck off of a deer, anything. So if it was, they want to say he's a deranged fan, which nobody knows that for sure, which the brother is questioning that. Why would he have 2 guns and a hunting knife? I don't think he planned on just killing that girl. I think he planned on killing whoever he could.
Well, there's no question he was on the hunt to kill, not animals. And again, I go back to the same thing happened. The same heinous comments came out in the other shootings. These people don't care about life. Their own or anybody else's for that matter, because if they cared about their own, they wouldn't make statements like that. Okay, what about those poor kids at Sandy Hook?
And he lined them up.
Those were not gay kids. They were just
I didn't
innocent
see
little
those
kids.
remarks on that one.
Oh, they said the same thing. Oh, well, he was crazy. But
No,
you know
he
what?
was crazy, but these ones think it's okay that he
No.
killed the...
Well-
Here's another one. And quit using God's name in vain, because when we went to church, that was one thing we learned. We don't use God's name in vain. And if you think you're not using his name in vain, you are using his name in vain, because God don't believe in killing anybody. And they write, God opened his armory to deal with proud, and he uses the flag America. And this is before they knew how many were dead. He goes, 20 dead in mass shooting. What is wrong with these people? What is wrong with these people? Where is your mentality level?
Low.
And then just sit and blame everything on Muslims. Wake up. When gangbangers go out and like you see Chicago every weekend, and now you're starting to see more of it in L.A.
Yeah.
Do you condemn all Americans because of gangbangers? So quit blaming everything on Muslims.
Yeah.
Wake up.
Well, this kid from Indiana was not Muslim.
No, he wasn't. And
He's
you're not going to read a lot about him either. Have you read a lot about him?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, a
There's
little.
a little bit out there on him. He was in trouble in Indiana. He's been before the court recently. He was supposed to surrender all of his guns, and as far as they could tell, he hadn't.
Why had
Or
he
if
been
he
in trouble?
He had threatened someone, and they had gotten a reduced sentence, and he's been back out on the street. He was supposed to get at least a year in jail, and they waived that. He pleaded guilty for a lesser charge, and the gun charges weren't a part of it, but they did ask him to give up his guns, and he was supposed to be on probation for a set period of time, as opposed to going to jail.
Oh, you're going to love this tweet now, too. This one you're going to really answer to. His name, he calls himself Don Juan. I went in looking for a lot of these, and they've closed their stuff
Of
down.
course. They're
He
cowards.
goes, man, I don't know what's better, the fact that gays were killed or the fact that the killer was Muslim and Democrat. What an ignorant asshole.
How do we know he's a Democrat?
Yeah.
I mean, he may have been.
He sounds like he probably would have been a Republican to me.
He's just a nut. Yeah. But, here's the thing.
And who cares? He killed people.
Anytime someone makes those kind of crazy comments under an alias name, I just discount them anyway because they're cowards. If I'm feeling strong about anything and I feel compelled to make a comment in social media, you're going to see Lee Michaels. You're not going to see Jabbo Jones because that's a coward. If you believe what you say, let your identity be known. As far as I'm concerned, you're a terrorist for making those kind of comments under alias names. What is the difference?
Yeah.
That's what terrorists do.
It's a trip. Here's another one. All run Tuba. He said, the shooter is my hero. The cops should be sued for killing a hero who was doing social justice. I mean, since 80% of Americans no longer have brains to know that homosexuality is a great sin against God and every natural human law, let those who know please buy guns and kill off any gay, lesbian, transgender, and their likes, including Bruce Jenner, whatever he calls himself. Now, may the soul of the shooter rest in peace. I am a Christian, not a Muslim, and my religion strongly condemns any act of homosexuality. Is this a new type of religion? I'm just curious because I was never taught hate going to church.
No,
I was
me either.
never taught to hate anybody.
Nope.
And I don't hate people. I can dislike somebody, but hate,
Right.
That's a strong word. And to sit here and continue, it makes it hard for me to want to go to church. Like I said, all Christians don't believe like this.
No, that's
I've
true.
heard a lot of them saying the same thing I said. The Bible has changed too many times. And God, when he created all man, he wouldn't have discriminated against anybody. Because if he created all man and people are born like this, then it's obvious he created it. So people need to stop.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a problem with it, then stay away from it. These people don't need you as their friends.
I don't know where this world is headed.
It's
But
very
it's in the wrong
angry
direction.
and evil. And it's all over the world.
Yeah.
It isn't just here.
That's
It's
true.
everywhere.
It is. You're
It's
absolutely
getting
correct.
worse and worse.
I don't know. What is the solution? We have identified the problem. We know what the problem is. That Congress and most of our governmental leaders, whether they're governors, state senators, House of Representatives, U.S. senators, have been bought. They've been convinced by the NRA that we don't need to change the laws. The NRA is heavily backed by the gun manufacturers. The gun manufacturers are going to stay the course because that's how they make their money. And then you have instilled so much fear in people that believe that the government is going to come in and take over. They're going to run you out of your home. You believe that the world hates America, So you need to have an arsenal of ammunition and crazy assault weapons to protect yourself. Hey, guess what? If we go into a world war and people attack this country, you're going to run out of ammunition before you make any damage. Because most of you don't know how to use a damn gun, number one. Number two, you're chicken. You're scared and you're dangerous. Now you are scared. You have been brainwashed and you've got all this weaponry. That's crazy. That's scary. That's more scary than anything else as far as I'm concerned. Now, if you have fully trained yourself, you've gone to various training and you know how to use a gun effectively and safely, and not like the mother up there in Sandy Hook that left her guns available to her son who she knew had mental illness. See, that's reckless, irresponsible. And those kind of things shouldn't happen. So if you're going to have a bunch of guns in your house and they're not under lock and key, and you make it available to people who should have no access to them, then who's wrong here? You are. You're being irresponsible. I know. I mean, some people out there may be getting upset at me right now, but I'm just telling the truth. I'm just showing it how it is.
You know,
I mean, really.
You know what's great, though, is people are banding together over this.